It was a stormy night, and I found myself alone, bathed in the dim glow of my computer screen, deeply immersed in an intense online gaming session. Frustration gnawed at me as I struggled to keep up with the skilled players on the opposing team. In a moment of heated rage, a forbidden word slipped from my lips, a curse uttered in the heat of the gaming moment. Little did I know, the consequences of that uttered curse were about to unfold in a sinister way. A sudden cold chill swept through my room, and distant whispers echoed in the air. The room seemed to darken, shadows closing in around me as if responding to my outburst. Abruptly, the game froze, and an eerie silence settled upon my surroundings. A chilling message appeared on my screen, written in blood-red letters. "You've summoned the unseen player." Nervously, I laughed it off, dismissing it as a prank by my gaming buddies. But as the night progressed, strange and unsettling events began to manifest in the real world. Faint footsteps echoed through my empty house, and creaking floorboards seemed to whisper ominous secrets. Anxiety gripped me as I heard my own voice, distorted and sinister, whispering the forbidden word from earlier. The room temperature plummeted, and a spectral figure materialized in the corner, taking the form of the unseen player, a ghostly avatar in tattered gaming gear. It approached me slowly, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light that sent shivers down my spine. Panic set in as I realized the unseen player was not confined to the virtual realm. The ghostly gamer spoke in a haunting voice, vowing to make me pay for the profanity I had unleashed into the digital ether. Desperation took over as I tried to disconnect from the game, but the computer resisted my commands. The unseen player's laughter echoed, growing louder with each futile attempt to escape. Shadows danced menacingly on the walls as the ghostly entity seemed to feed on my fear. Frantically, I grabbed my phone to call for help, but the screen displayed a ghastly message: "There is no escape." The power went out, plunging the room into total darkness, save for the ghastly glow of the unseen player's eyes. A chilling wind whispered through the room, carrying the echoes of the profanity that had summoned this malevolent force. The unseen player's spectral hand reached out, and a bone-chilling touch seized my heart. Images of my most haunting fears played out before me as the unseen player extracted a toll from my reckless words. Time lost its meaning as I felt myself drawn into a nightmarish abyss, where reality and the digital realm intertwined. The room filled with agonizing screams and anguished pleas, a gamer trapped in a sinister game of my own making. As the first light of dawn broke, the unseen player vanished, leaving me alone, shaken, and forever changed. The computer screen flickered back to life, displaying a final message: "Beware the consequences of words spoken in the digital realm." From that day forward, I became a cautionary tale among online gamers, a living reminder of the price one might pay for crossing into the unknown. The whispers persisted, a haunting reminder that the unseen player might return should another gamer dare to utter the forbidden words in the online realm. Forever scarred by the supernatural encounter, I withdrew from the virtual world, haunted by the echoes of my past actions. The legend of the unseen player lived on, passed down through the gaming community as a ghost story to chill the spines of those who dared to let their words carry too much weight in the digital domain. Late one night, I sat alone in front of my computer, engrossed in various online activities. A seemingly harmless email appeared in my inbox, its subject line innocuous and intriguing. Curiosity got the better of me, and I clicked the attachment without a second thought. Little did I know, that innocent click unleashed a malevolent force into my digital world. The screen flickered, and an ominous message appeared, warning me that my computer was now infected. Panic set in as the virus began to rapidly spread through my files, corrupting everything in its path. Sinister messages popped up, taunting me with the realization that my data was no longer under my control. I frantically tried to run antivirus programs, but the virus resisted every attempt to be eradicated. The once familiar hum of my computer now sounded like a sinister whisper, echoing the impending doom. Dark shadows danced across the screen as the virus displayed a countdown, each second ticking away ominously. Strange glitches manifested on the monitor, distorting images into grotesque and nightmarish forms. Sinister laughter echoed through my headphones as I desperately tried to disconnect from the internet. The virus seemed to have a malevolent intelligence, anticipating and countering my every move. My digital world crumbled around me as important files vanished into the abyss of corrupted data. The infected computer took on a life of its own, opening and closing programs with a mind of its own. A flicker of my webcam's LED caught my attention, and I realized with horror that I was being watched. The virus sent eerie messages, addressing me by name and detailing personal information only I should know. The walls of my room seemed to close in as the virus projected a sinister face on my screen, mocking my futile attempts to resist. The infected computer emitted strange sounds, a cacophony of distorted voices that sent shivers down my spine. Desperation set in as I contemplated the potential damage the virus could do beyond my computer. It mocked me with cryptic messages, hinting at a deeper and more insidious purpose behind its invasion. The digital infection spread to other devices in my home, leaving a trail of chaos and fear in its wake. I could feel the virus's presence in the air, a malevolent force that seemed to seep into every corner of my life. Sleep became elusive as the virus haunted my dreams, turning them into twisted and nightmarish scenarios. Attempts to seek help from tech experts proved futile as they, too, fell victim to the insidious malware. The infected devices began to emit an otherworldly glow, casting an eerie ambience throughout my home. My once safe haven became a prison as the virus manipulated smart home devices to torment me further. The digital malevolence seemed to take pleasure in my suffering, orchestrating a symphony of terror. As I contemplated abandoning technology altogether, the virus whispered that escape was impossible. The infected devices orchestrated synchronized malfunctions, creating a cacophony of chaos that drowned out any semblance of normalcy. The virus's final message appeared on my screen: "You can't escape me. I am everywhere." In a last desperate act, I decided to erase everything and rebuild my digital life from scratch. As I formatted my hard drive, the virus resisted, taunting me with cryptic messages until the very end. With a sense of dread, I disconnected from the internet, hoping to sever the last ties to the malevolent force. The eerie glow in my room faded as the infected devices fell silent, but the scars of the digital nightmare remained. The world beyond my computer screen seemed tainted, as if the virus had left its mark on the fabric of reality itself. In the quiet aftermath, I couldn't shake the feeling that the virus, though defeated, lingered in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to strike again. The once thriving digital landscape now stood as a haunting reminder of the terror that a seemingly innocuous click could unleash. On a dark and stormy night, I sat alone in my dimly lit room, eager to delve into a new horror game that had gained notoriety. The title screen flickered ominously as unsettling music echoed through my headphones. The game began with an eerie message, warning players of the psychological horrors that awaited them. My character woke up in a desolate, abandoned mansion, the air heavy with an unshakable sense of dread. As I explored the haunted corridors, the creaking floorboards and distant whispers made my heart race. Shadows seemed to dance in the corners of the screen, playing tricks on my mind as I navigated the dimly lit hallways. The game cleverly exploited my fear of the unknown. Each corner turned, revealing something more terrifying than the last. Unsettling paintings adorned the mansion's walls, their eyes following my every move with an uncanny gaze. A chilling breeze emanated from the game, creating an illusion that the room's temperature had dropped. The sound of phantom footsteps echoed behind me, but when I turned, there was nothing there. Disturbing messages appeared on the screen, written in blood-red letters, taunting me and questioning my sanity. The game environment shifted unexpectedly, warping reality and distorting my perception of space and time. Unseen entities seemed to whisper directly into my ears, their words filled with malevolence that sent shivers down my spine. Jump scares punctuated the silence, each one more heart-stopping than the last, leaving me on edge. The game played with my emotions, luring me into a false sense of security before subjecting me to new terrors. The protagonist's sanity in the game mirrored my own, as the screen blurred and distorted in moments of sheer terror. The atmosphere became suffocating, the weight of an unseen presence bearing down on me. Cryptic symbols and eerie symbols adorned the walls, hinting at a dark and ancient malevolence that lurked within the game. The controller vibrated in my hands, mimicking the heartbeat of a terrified character, syncing with the thumping of my own heart. As the narrative unfolded, it became clear that the game knew my deepest fears, weaving them into the story in unsettling ways. A spectral figure appeared on the screen, its hollow eyes locking onto mine, as if reaching through the digital realm. The game seemed to glitch, distorting the protagonist's face into a grotesque visage that mirrored my own reflection. Whispers from the game spilled into the real world, creating an unnerving fusion of fiction and reality. The once familiar controls began to rebel, responding to phantom inputs that I hadn't initiated. The protagonist's descent into madness mirrored my own increasing unease as the lines between the game and reality blurred. The game mocked me, displaying a message that seemed to know personal details about my life and fears. My attempts to exit the game proved futile, as it resisted my commands with an otherworldly force. The haunting soundtrack intensified, creating an oppressive symphony of fear that reverberated through my headphones. The game forced me to confront my deepest fears, bringing them to life in pixelated horrors that felt all too real. A sense of impending doom hung in the air as the protagonist faced a choice that mirrored my own existential dread. The game's conclusion left me in a state of shock, the unsettling narrative lingering in my mind long after the screen went dark. Even after I shut off the game, the unsettling atmosphere seemed to seep into the room, casting a pall of dread over my surroundings. As I lay in bed, the echoes of the haunting game continued to haunt my dreams, blending the borders between fiction and reality. The mere thought of returning to the game sent shivers down my spine, the lingering fear ensuring it would remain etched in my memory. The next day, I uninstalled the game, but its eerie presence seemed to linger in the empty spaces of my computer, a digital ghost haunting my device. The experience left me questioning the nature of reality, as the virtual horrors I had faced continued to haunt my thoughts long after I had closed the chapter on the terrifying game. The horror game had become more than just a digital experience. It had left an indelible mark on my psyche, a chilling reminder of the power of interactive terror.